Mi imamo mnogo lica, oblika i boja. Mi smo prostranstvo i blizina. Mi smo nasmijani i ponekad glasni, zeleni, pomalo bodljikavi, brižni, plavi, prozračni i čisti, jedinstveni i vaši, uzbudljivi, pjenušavi i topli, divlji i pitomi u isto vrijeme. Dobro znani i uvijek novi. Među svim tim licima teško je biti usamljen.
So, dear tourism friends, dear all, dear organizers, dear hosts, first of all, I have to admit that I'm in deep trouble at the moment. How can I say anything interesting after such as great speakers that we had on the stage? But I will try my best. It is my real pleasure and honor to be here at the occasion of the first WTN on-site conference here in beautiful Bali. Let me first congratulate all of you, the World Tourism Day. Salamat Hari Pariwisati Dunia. So, it has been marked 2 days ago, but I hope that we will have three more beautiful and prospective days in the years and in the year to come. So this is, and I would like to say that I'm proud mom of 2 young men. I'm proud daughter, happy wife, and the rest is written on the screen. I'm also WTN Executive Board member. I work as a consultant for Saudi Arabia, Royal Commission of Al-Rulam, Deputy Minister of Tourism or Director General, representative of some organizations, and I have to mention that I used to be Honorary Consul of Seychelles, which is on hold at the moment because I cannot really work for one government and represent the interest of the other one. So when I stop working here, I'll be back to this position, I hope. So this is about Montenegro. Montenegro is, as you could see, now a member of WTN. It is a very small country. It is all in one destination where we perform tourism 365 days a year. It is very small in area, but great in hospitality. At one of the projects and the comments UNWTO has said that we are the last undiscovered pearl of Europe. Here are some statistical data, and you can actually see how small we are comparing to the rest of Europe. We have only around 600,000 people living there, but we also have a very great climate. We have great beaches, great landscape, and the point is that which makes us unique, that at some stage you can go swimming, and at the same time you can go skiing up there in the mountains, and we are where like ski or seaside is like 1 hour away from our mountains. We have unique and old towns, rich in history and culture, and you've seen that on the video. We have many luxury resorts, 5 and 4 stars hotel. We have tourism diversification. We are working on it, so we have various activities, as you could see. And what I would also like to mention that we are really pointing out and trying to promote our rural tourism, our medical tourism, and different kinds of tourism. We have great gastronomy. We have a traditional cuisine that we are very famous about. We have Mediterranean cuisine in the central and sea coast, as well as specific kind of cuisine up there in the mountains. But we also have international cuisines like Italian, Chinese. Soon we will have Bali cuisine on our menus, I'm sure. So we are very much a tourism-oriented economy, and you can see the figures. So tourism is 30% of our GDP, which is a bit too much, but that's how it is. 31% of our population is employed in tourism, 50% are women, 55% expert. But what is important that we fully recovered from COVID-19. These are some statistical data. I will not go into details because I have to save some time, as Jürgen warned me. So we really have increase in revenue, in tourism arrivals, tourist arrivals, overnight stays. So you see, we have like in revenue, we have 70% more than in 2019. But these are the data for quarter 2 because we don't have data for quarter 3 ready yet. What is so important for us is that we are really trying to increase the length of stay of our tourists, to keep them longer in the destination, and of course to make them feel better. And in the end, to make them spend more at our destination, of course. So here is something about European tourism mindset that I would like to mention. As you can see, and as we all know, Europe is a global leader in international tourism. Roughly, it accounts 2/3 of international tourism arrivals worldwide. European travelers are fully ready to travel, even though they have concerns related to of course, geopolitical crises and inflation. And somebody would say that Europe is a game changer for tourism. Maybe yes, maybe no. But what we learn due to COVID time is actually that no one is a game changer, and no one can win unless we all win in this kind of complicated game. So, what is also important to say is that tourists from Europe have changed their mindset. They are not interested in passive vacation anymore, but they want to have experience, want to visit attractions, want to do things the way locals do, want to gain experience from locals. And they want, of course, to eat local food, they want to travel with locals, so they choose. Talking about locals, they actually choose the destinations where level of sustainability is very high. And we also, of course, have to know more locals are involved in tourism, more sustainable destination is for sure. Recently, we talked about tourism growth, and the question is what tourism growth is and how can we achieve it? Is it statistical data increase? Yes, but no. Each growth is not a success story, I would say. So how to stimulate it? Investments are definitely key pillar of our tourism growth, but not any investments. Investments have to be green, and all the stakeholders have to be involved. People have to benefit from that. Young people, locals, tourists, governments, private sector, everybody. We have to invest in education, of course, in getting skilled labor, because we have a big issue about it. Only tourism-educated nation can deliver high-class tourism service. Of course, we have to support and invest in SMEs, in innovation, digitalization, investing in planet and our future, what we talked about recently. What about government? What about my government, Indonesian government, all the governments all over the world? This is what we have to do. We have to create competitive business environment. We have to motivate investors to come and invest in our countries, but we also have to make sure that our countries are stable politically, because we have that issue all over the world, I would say. As we all know, investors are not going to come to invest in economies which are not stable from political point of view. Of course, government has to promote investments internationally. It has to promote private investments, and it has to create incentives for SMEs. That's the main point, I would say. What about SMEs in Montenegro? 90% of our industry are SMEs, talking about guest houses, apartments, restaurants, taxi businesses, transportation, everything. So we have to have a supportive approach, and we do have it. Government has stimulative approach towards these businesses, maybe not as stimulative as it should be, as our economy is not that developed, but we do give support to our industry. I wish we could finance them more, because it's never too much of a support to SMEs. For example, we have these days, we have ongoing open call for SMEs within the directorate that I'm heading, and we have it a couple of times per year. So we are actually inviting all SMEs to apply for financial help if they want to develop rural tourism, medical tourism, digitalization, if they want to develop rural households, which are classical form of SMEs. So they are all invited, and we are really supporting them financially, and this is what each government should do, definitely. Talking about challenges from European perspective, as we have talked, the list is long, and we could talk during the whole conference about this, but we shouldn't, of course. We already discussed a couple of points. I would like to mention the destination management versus destination marketing. I think we are kind of mixing up these two, especially undeveloped countries or countries which are in transition, because many institutions think that these two things are the same. They are not, definitely, and this is what we have to go for. On the other side, air connectivity, we also heard talks about it. We need more planes, we need more airline routes, but we have to do it in a smart way. Us in Montenegro, we have an issue about this question. And often I call Montenegro an island, even though we are surrounded from 3 sides by land, but only at the one side we have water, but I call it island because the easiest way is to get to Montenegro by plane, because roads taking tourists to Montenegro are still not that good. So we are an island, and we have to solve this issue. Gender gap, this is something which is bothering all of us. And of course, sustainability. So, ladies first, today more than ever, our industry needs skillful men and women. Empowering women is not a situation where men lose and women win. This is the win-win situation for all, not only for women and men, but for our families, industries, countries, for our planet. This is the matter of balance that we have to achieve. At this moment, the situation is completely unbalanced, I would say, in favor of men. And this is a situation where we actually all lose. So here are some data. We have 55% of workforce in Europe are women, only 17% of us are in the managerial positions, 5% hotels, general managers, 6% in airline management, 6% in transportation. So Montenegro is trying to improve this situation, and we are really arranging and making different kind of projects and incentives to support women in tourism, especially in rural and medical tourism. And this is what I would advise each government to do. Sustainability multiplied by million. This is a must in today's world, and I have to mention tourists have changed their mindset, and they dominantly choose sustainable destination. Implementation of sustainable practices means minimizing the negative impact of tourism on environment, society, and economy. This is a win-win solution for all, for SMEs, for governments, for locals, for tourists, for everybody. We should develop, and this is what we are doing in Montenegro, we are developing sustainable standards for destination and sustainable standards for hotel industry, meaning for tourism industry, meaning for hotels and tour operators. Montenegro recently became GSTC member. This is Global Sustainable Tourism Council organization, and we started implementing their standards at our destination and within our hotel industry. I am the one representing Montenegro in this organization, and this is maybe easier way to do it when it comes to standard implementation, but on the other side, maybe more effective way to do it is if each destination create its own standard, because we all know the best what we need the most. So this is how maybe Indonesia and Bali should approach it. And of course, us, Montenegro, is available to help. I would also like to mention our national tourism strategy, where we actually paid a lot of attention to sustainable tourism and engaging local community in our tourism. And I think I will finish my presentation with words of a great man who is not here with us today, but maybe he's following us online during our WTN Zoom meetings and great events, online events that we had. Mr. Talib Rifai said this once, and I remembered it, and I'm going to share it with you. What he said is that only happy hosts can make tourists happy. So with this, I will finish. Thank you very much. Yeah, if you have any questions, please. Yes.
We try to find it.
Okay, so for Miss Slavuljica, I hope I didn't butcher pronunciation.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm interested in the, okay, so I'm Norway, I'm Singapore, Indonesia. I'm more interested about the workforce issue. So while looking at your presentation and the term of reference, I have a question. The question is, while promoting community engagement and gender diversity, what challenges Montenegro encounter and what solutions or strategies are being used to overcome these challenges? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Yes, as the rest of the world, we are facing huge difficulties regarding workforce. We do have many educational institutions producing future tourism experts, but what is lacking at our destination and what we have to improve is kind of technical, practical training about the students coming out of those institutions. As a government, we are trying actually to link industry with with the colleges, universities, even high schools that have like tourism courses within their programs. And we have many initiatives, working groups. We are also connecting with different institutions and even trying to support institutions financially to motivate them to involve those young people and to give them practical training at the spot, at least during the high season, because still in Montenegro we have the situation where we have high season lasting 4 months, 5 months, which is not really enough. We do practice tourism 365 days a year, but the high season lasts like four months, let's say. So we are trying to make bridge between institutions and educational institutions and tourism industry, and we are also giving a lot of incentives to all of them, to all the institutions which involve our young students in the process and in the industry. So, yeah.
Hello. Good morning, Doctor. My name is Rami, and I would like to ask about maybe a bit of context first. In Bali, the small medium enterprise impacted because there's no tourists, and then they need to shift to digitalization. So they need to learn how to sell in TikTok or Facebook. Is there any best case that you can share about your SME, creative economy in your country? What happened during pandemic and how did you overcome it to support the tourism? Because in Bali we really depend on tourism, but then at the end, if everything goes digital, then the experience is less, and it's really kind of like shifted. So yeah, if you have any example. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your question. Yes, we are all talking about digitalization all over the world. But to be honest, we still have challenge with that issue. So, and not only Montenegro, I think the whole world has a challenge when it comes to tourism digitalization, and but also on the other side, it's not good if we do too much of it. So we have to find balance, and everything in tourism and in our life is about finding balance. But definitely those SMEs, and we have a lot of them in Montenegro who practice digitalization, they are definitely better positioned on the market. What we also propose to all the SMEs, and we conducted many trainings on that issue, that they should use digital way of promotion, of promoting their businesses. Recently, like maybe 2 years ago, they haven't been really using digital marketing a lot. Now they're doing it at a high scale. And I think what the government did it very well together with the National Tourism Organization of Montenegro. We provided so many trainings for SMEs, how to do it. We gave them actually practical trainings. We even had a working group who was helping them practically on site how to do it, especially when it comes, for example, to rural tourism, because people living up there in mountains, they're not really digitally educated, capable enough. So we are really, trying to help them, to offer actually them practical help, and always to maintain the balance between, things going like too much digital and the real experience that they can have on spot. But what is very important is, and what we insist when talking to them and when educating them, is that they should never present on digital channels something which is not like that in real life. Because the worst thing, if a tourist comes and he or she gets disappointed with what he finds at the destination. We also have many applications for tourists to get around easily. We have digital tour guides for specific regions of Montenegro. We have also digital platforms for our accommodation, for our attractions. So there are many platforms and digital solutions that we offer. But it all can be even better, and we are working on it.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to ask a question about, you mentioned in your wonderful presentation about how in some regards Montenegro can be viewed a little bit like an island, a small island nation really. And that sort of made me think about, I'm one of those people, I've wanted to visit Montenegro for such a long time because I've studied an awful lot about Montenegro actually. And it looks an amazing destination. And I know a lot of the hoteliers in Montenegro and they're amazing people who do amazing things on sustainability, by the way, I must say as well. But one question that I have for you is you're quite, as a tourism destination, you're quite reliant on airlift, naturally. Airlift. Airlines.
Oh, yeah.
Airlines.
Yeah.
So airlift is the only, you mentioned in your presentation, it's one of the only practical ways to arrive. Do you get concerned when there are movements, environmental movements, like flight shaming, when people are saying, oh, we shouldn't be flying as much? Does that make you, as a director for the tourism, does that make you a little bit nervous? Like, if people stop flying, then that's our tourism economy cuts off. The tourism economy, as you said, your GDP was worth 30% or even more. So it's just how much of a concern do you have for the reliance on airlines and airlift, knowing that they are, big emitters and it's an environmental challenge? And how do you deal with it?
It's a very difficult question. And people who know me, my friend, they know that I'm always very honest. First of all, thank you for your comments about Montenegro, and of course you and everybody is welcome to visit our country. And let me also use this opportunity to announce the big conference that we are going to have in May next year. It's called Region Tourism Destination Conference. We had one in May this year, and we are going to have another one in May next year. So you are actually all invited. And regarding the airline issue, I used to work as a director of national company, marketing and corporate communication director of national airline for almost 15 years. So kerosene is in my veins, and I'm so, that's my passion. But we have a huge challenge when it comes to airline connectivity. We used to have national airline called Montenegro Airlines, which just bankrupt during the COVID time. Now we have new airline called Air Montenegro, but the roads and the connectivity they have, it's not good. And it's not good enough, actually. So we need much more of a support when it comes to airline connectivity. Me, being aware of, you just said, that we have to be very careful about inviting airlines in huge numbers. I'm in a kind of, strange situation, because we need airlines. I'm inviting airlines, we are inviting airlines, are working hard on getting many airlines in Montenegro, but on the other side, I'm very much aware of what you said. But on the other side, we also raised the question of awareness when it comes to sustainability. This is what is missing in Montenegro, and I think in the whole Europe, and maybe more in smaller states than in bigger states. So this is probably the answer. I mean, the answer without giving you a real answer, but by heart, if I take into consideration my emotions, I wouldn't like that many airlines to come to Montenegro. But on the other side, we desperately need them. So
it's hard, huh?
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So any more questions? Okay. So thank you very much for your attention. Thank you and see you.